Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Sukhi Learn. My name is Sukhjinder Singh and you can call me Sukhi. And if you are watching me for the first time, I would request you to please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you can get all the updates about the videos that I upload. So today I'll be discussing about data table and the if construct. So we'll take an example in which we'll be using the data table package and the if construct, the if package which is available. Now data table is nothing but uh, it's a package that allows you to import data from a particular file in a table structure, and then it has certain specific commands which you can use to process the data. Things like you can add values, you can calculate, like in Excel, how you calculate in your cells, you can do the same thing in data tables. And the if construct, as the name suggests, it allows you to take decisions while your bot is running. So there are certain scenarios where based on the input, you have to take a decision which is dependent on the value that is captured for a given parameter. So based on that condition being satisfied, there are certain set of actions that you want to take. And based on the scenario where the condition is not satisfied, you have to take certain set of actions. So the if construct allows you to build that kind of intelligence in your bot where you can take decisions at the runtime. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at the use case that I'm going to present today in this demo. I've taken a very simple scenario. So there is a school, say school A, and they want to automate the process of calculating the grades based on the grid. Now, in any school, there's a scorecard which is generated, and based on the score that a student has achieved, the student gets a grade. So that's exactly the task is. So there is a file available which will have the score student wise, and our job is to automate the process of uh, generating a grade based on the score. So for that particular piece, there is a grid available which we need to use and build the logic on. So it's very simple. All right, so now let's take a look at the automation steps that are involved that we will follow in order to build the bot. Let's go through them one by one. So the first step is obviously to go ahead and pick up the raw file, which will be placed inside a folder, which is called input. So we'll pick up the file from a folder called input. And after picking up the file, we will insert that data in the data table. And once we push the data in the data table, we will start processing the records. And we have to apply this grid which is appearing on the screen. So now the file that we will have, it will have the score of the student, the details of the student, and a column grade without any value. So our job is to follow this particular grid, and based on this grid, generate a grade and place it in that particular cell which is meant for grade. So that's the objective. Now, if the score is between 91 and 100, we have to mark it as A. If it is between 81 and 90, we will have to put the grade as B. If it is between 71 and 80, we'll have to put the grade as C. And if it is less than 71, it has to be D. Now, it is nothing but, in simple words, it is greater than. If the score is greater than equal to 91 and less than equal to 100, then we have to mark it as A, or push the value or set the value as A for the grade column. If it is greater than equal to 81 and less than equal to 90, then we have to put the grade value as B. If it is greater than equal to 71 and less than equal to 80, we have to put the grade value as C. And if it is less than 71, the grade value is D. Now, once we perform this task of processing the grade for each record, at the end of it, we will obviously save the data in Excel. Now remember, we have opened the file, we have taken the data from an Excel file, we have pushed it in a data table, we have done the processing in the data table, and once we are done with the processing inside the data table, we'll push the data back to Excel from data table, and then move this processed file from the input folder to the output folder. All right, then let's go ahead and build this bot. Let's get started. All right, so now you can see the folder structure. This is the input folder that I'm talking about, and this is the output folder. Now let's take a look at the file, and this is how the file looks like. So there's a list of 20 students in this example that I'm taking. So we have an ID, we have a name, and this is the score, the column that we need to refer to and place the value of grade based on the value available in this column. So this is the input file available. Now let's start the process of building the bot. So now this is Automation Anywhere, and here I've already created a folder which says using data table and if. Now I will click on this. Inside this I'll be creating a bot. So let's give this as grade generator. So I'm not putting descriptions anywhere just to save time. Um, Let it load. Okay. All right. So now let's add steps. So my first step is to open the Excel file. Say and I would say save data to the table. Let's be specific. Say data table. So let me do this step. First step is this. Yeah. Now, once I have opened the file and pushed the data in the data table, process every record. Once I process every record, I will save the data in Excel from the data table. And the last step is move the file from input to output. Okay. Um, so let me just close this. And the first one is open the Excel file and save the data in data table. So how will I do that? I will first say open, and I will open my Excel file. Sorry, I did something wrong. Open my Excel file. Now which file is it? Well, let's select the file. Oh, here it is inside the input folder. This is the file. So I'll select the file. Sheet does contain headers, and it's always a good habit to select load add-ins. I'll create a local session. Say input. Say save. Alright, so now we have added this particular command here. The session name is input, and now I would like to push the data of this Excel sheet into a data table. And in that case, let's see if there is any command available. Or get, yeah, this is the one. Get worksheet as data table. Now I will place it here, and I will say active worksheet. That is a sheet which is open right now. It contains headers, and the name of the session has to be the same as this one. I've kept it as input, so I will put it as input over here. And then I have to create a variable, so I will say grade tb. So that's the table name that I'm choosing to create. Now, once I'm done with this, I've pushed the data in the data table. I will simply close this Excel sheet. I'm done with it. So I don't need the Excel file to be open. And I will give the name as input. Now I will be working with the data table, and I will be looping through each record of the data table. Hence, I will need a row counter to keep a track of which row I'm processing. So I will just also initiate a variable, and I'll say 1, and say I will create it as a row CTR. Now the row number actually starts from 0 in tables, so I will say 0 rather than, instead of 1 I will say 0. It initiated with 0. So we are done with this. We'll close this. To process every record, so I have to process each record, so I'll be using a loop, and here I will say for each row in a data table, and which table, the grade TB table, and the record variable I would say grade record. So there's already coming here, so I'll select this one. All right, so this is what it is. Now let's see if I'm getting the right, if I'm on the right track. So I will say message box. What do I want to display? I want to display a value from the table. So how does it work? So the row index. Now there's a variable that I'm using, row counter. So I'll put say for the first row I will just go ahead and check it and say by name, say score, and here I can just say dollar row counter, and I will go ahead and increment the row counter by 1. Say row counter plus 1. All right, so I did show me messages in a sequence. Let's see how it works. Let's run this one. All right, so now what we'll do here is, as we saw, the messages are showing the values in a sequence properly. And what we need to do here is, so we'll keep this increment command action as it is, because we do need to increment each row, the counter. As soon as we process the first one, we need to move to the next one. So we need to increment this row counter. And we need to assign the score value, the value that is available in the score column for the given record. You have to assign it to a particular variable. So what are we going to do? We'll say assign say number value. Now from where do I need it? I need it from the record. So now it is going to be record, and I will refer to it by the column header, which is score. If I say this much, and I will say score, so create and select. Now this will help me to extract the score value and store it in a variable called score. And once I'm done with this, I will go ahead and use the if construct to go ahead and apply the condition that I want to apply, and then set the grade value as per the requirement. Now let's do this for one condition, and for that you have to search if, and after this command I'll put if here, and it's a number condition. The variable name is score. Okay, if score is, say, let's pick up the first one, I mean the easiest one, say greater than equal to, if the score is greater than equal to 91, we will add a condition, and 100. What do we need to do? We need to set the value as A for the column grade. So what are we going to do here is, if the score value is greater than equal to 91 and less than equal to 100, in that case, what are we supposed to do? We are required to set the value of the grade column to A. Now, what will I do? I will search, set. So there is a set command in data table, set value of a single cell. As you can see over here, it is mentioned allows a user to assign a specific value to a data table cell based on the user's specified row and column of the data table. So it is going to be about row and column. Now I will select the data table. Row index is the current row number. So the row starts from 0. The row identifier starts from 0. Here we already have the row counter in place, so I'll be putting here the value of row counter. So say row ctr. I'll put this here. Now for which column do I need to set a value? We need to set a value for the column called grade. And what is the value that we need to set? We need to set A, right? And say save. So I will just add one condition and run the bot and then see what happens. Or should we go ahead and add all the conditions? Well, let's go ahead and add all the conditions. Now I've added one condition. So now I've added first condition over here. I need to add more conditions. So basically, if you look at the if package here, it says if, else if, and else. Now if there are only two things, there are only two possible outcomes, I will use if and else. So if the condition is satisfied, it will perform what is there in that, else it will perform the given set of actions. Now in our situation, we have multiple conditions to be checked, hence we will be using if, else if, and in the end I will be using else. Now if the score is between 91 and 100, I've decided an action. This is the action to be taken. Else if, again the number condition, $score greater than equal to 81, I will add and number $score equal to 90. If it is greater than equal to 91 and less than equal to 90, what is the grade value that we need to set? We need to set it as B. So we can simply copy, paste, table name, the row is first row. If it is meeting this condition, we will set the grade to B and save. If this is not satisfied, then else if number condition, variable name greater than equal to 71, add and another number condition, variable name less than equal to 80. So if this is satisfied, then what am I supposed to do? I will set the value as C. And then comes the last one, else. Set the value as D. So I can either do this or I can do a else if and add a condition. So this is how you use else. So I will again delete this and add another else if here. So we need to do this and then you can add it. So say number condition, source value score, if it is less than 71. Again, just copy, paste it. So again, take a look at this one. So this is the first condition, which is greater than equal to 91, less than equal to 100. A, grade value is set to A. And then here we are saying greater than equal to 81 and less than equal to 90. We are setting the value as B. For the given table, the row counter is dynamic. We are looping through each row one by one. Hence, we need to keep such a variable which will track the existing row. And once we're done with processing all the values for the given row, we simply just increment the counter by one. That's the purpose of this row counter. Now there's condition. The next condition between 71 and 80, it will set the value to C. And the last one, if it is less than 71, it will set the value to D. Once we are done with all the processing, we simply go ahead and increment the counter. So this will happen for each and every row when it is executing. Now, how will I move the data from the Excel, from the data table to the Excel sheet? Here I will again copy paste a few things. I will copy paste the open Excel command. Okay, and I'll keep the session name as input. And then I have something called write from data table. Which data table? Grade TB, active worksheet, and from cell A1 from the beginning. And the name of the Excel session is input. Once I'm done with that, I will simply close. Now I can reuse like this if the session names are common. So I'm using it like this. So I'm closing it. Now I will save the changes at the time of closing. So I will save this much, and let's run and see what happens. So let's take a look at the file once again. There are no value for grade. This is the raw data. Close it. Okay, let's run this bot. Okay. All right. So as you saw, the advantage of using data table, first you don't have to keep any Excel open. Yeah, that's an advantage. Apart from that, it's fast. It's faster than processing data in Excel. So here there are only 20 records, so you may not realize that, but when the record numbers are very high, it does process it faster than you doing a VLOOKUP or equal to in an Excel sheet. You writing complicated formulas, you generating some people do a pure Excel automation where you apply all the formulas in the Excel cell while the file is open. You don't need to do that. You have data tables available. Use this. This helps to avoid any kind of runtime errors as it is happening inside the data table. Also, it is much faster than Excel processing. All right, now let's look at the file. Oh yeah, so here we go. So if you want to confirm this, say grade A between 91 and 100, grade B between 81 and 90, grade C between 71 and 80, and this is a good set of students. You don't have any D grade, so yeah, let me just create an example right now. of any student who is say this is so this guy, let's make him 68 and some yellow. This is what I changed. Saving the file, and let's run the bot again. There you go. Let me open this, and yeah, rightly it is showing D over here. So we have achieved the task of processing the records. Now quickly let's go ahead and move this file. Before I do that, before I write the code, I'll bring it back to normal. I will remove all this. I will make this all right, and quickly write the code for moving. So moving is basically I will first copy and then delete. So say copy file, choose the path, yeah, where do you want to put it? I will just copy paste the path. That's it. I'll say overwrite the existing value. Okay, so I've copy pasted it. Now I will delete the existing one. Delete file. Again, just select the path. There you go. All right, so now the bot is complete. We have added all the steps that were planned, and now let's run the bot and see if it works. All right, there you go. So you can see the file being moved to the output folder, correctly tagging the grades against the records, and the file is gone from the input folder. So we have successfully created a bot which is using data tables in order to process records which are imported from an Excel file, and then we are again pushing it back to the Excel file and saving the data. So yeah, let me know in the comments how did you like this example, how was the demonstration, what are your views on that. Show your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, express yourself. And once again, if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would request you to please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you can get all the updates of all the videos that I'm going to upload. And like we say in Automation Anywhere, go be great and keep learning. Thank you very much.